Welcome to the Success Journey Show. Let's travel together through the lives of individuals on their road to success.
Hey, what's going on, travelers? What's going on? It's Ricky Ventures and Marlon Nannon, and we are back with you for another week of the Success Journey Show. What's going on? What's going on? Marlon, how you doing this week, bro?
Man, I'm doing fine. Hey, Rick, I'm getting really to love this new setup because I feel like I'm really in the studio, you know? Every week I'm trying, if people notice, my camera's getting better and better.
Right? So, cleaning it.
Yeah, I've been tweaking it. I'm looking at Ricky's and trying to get mine like that. So the only thing I could do today to upstage him was put on a shirt with a collar, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's all good, man. I got mine over in the corner over there.
Nah. Your camera's too clean, man. You gotta give me a one-up.
Oh, man. So what's good this week with you, man? How's this week treating you?
Rick, man, this week, I've been thinking about a couple things, man, and anybody knows me, I have a love for, you know, the black community at where I stand right now. I always have a love for the black community, of course, and people in general. I don't want to think people that, of course I'm black, so I'm pro-black. Of course, I'm not going to say I'm not, but I'm also inclusive when it comes to everything else. But I think I hear people say things that I put on my Facebook today. People saying stuff like, "I tried my best," and when I hear people say, "I tried my best," that doesn't. I know it's not popular, but it doesn't mean anything to me because, guess what? You didn't tell me the processes and systems that you put in place to say that, yes, I've tried to accomplish my goals. That's what I want to hear. I just don't want to hear, I tried my best. I want to say, hey, what did you do in order to try to obtain your goal? And once I hear that, then I can just, I can have something to say that's tangible that says, yes, that person either tried or, hey, what about this? What about that? What about this?
Yeah. I like when you said that, man, especially that last part of it, because someone is serious where we all know that being successful and winning or whatever it may be, you're always not going to win. That's just not reality of it. But in every cycle of goal that you're going after, you learn something. So when someone says, hey, I tried my best, and you have the mentality like, oh, this is not for me, I'm quitting, then you get to tell the difference with that person and say, I tried my best or I gave it my all, and this is what I need to do in order to pivot or to win next time. Right. And so those are two different people, man. A person that say, I gave my all and that's it, I'm hanging it up, that's not my lane. Or that person that's like, you look at these athletes, of course, everyone, you see the people that celebrate, but those people that come in second place, they're not, say, oh, we gave it our all. They're like, no, they're like, okay, put my schedule together, start training, because I know when I go back at this thing, I need to win, so, right. Trying your best is good, but what's the follow-up? What's the strategy going with it? And what's your pivot? What do you need to do differently in order to really get that win?
Yes, and I wanted to put one thing in perspective. I'm never going to say what brought this debate between me and the person, but they're talking about young kids, and we should be able to give these young kids time to mess up and and all this different stuff, right? And I started to look up. We all know about this boycott, right? We know about the boycott that happened, and then I said, so this boycott happened in 1956, November 1956, right? The year boycott, Martin Luther King was at the helm.
Yeah, they explained it. I'm like, what boycott is he talking about? Which one?
Up for the bus.
Did I just miss one? Like...
Yeah. Did I miss one? 1956. I wasn't even born. Right? And then I looked at when Martin Luther King was born in 1929, and he was 27 when he led that boycott. What if somebody had said, let's give this guy this? What if he had said, I have time to play, I have time to do this, I'm 27, I don't really need, you have to understand there were grown 40, 50-year-old, 60-year-old men following this 27-year-old looking for direction and guidance to say, what do we need to do next to be effective and to be taken seriously in this space?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Granted, he probably put people around him that were real smart, just like we talked about, putting people that are around his smart. But what did he do? And what kind of information did he take in that at 27 he could lead like this?
To lead like that. Yeah. Or the question is, can you identify someone 27 now and see them put out and leading that type of a charge?
Thank you.
And I mean, you ask yourself, man, I'll be 37 this year. Was I in a position to do it then? Am I in a position to do it now? Do I believe in a cause that much to be able to rally up people and have people believe in me and my vision and my dream, and not just me, but the dream in its totality, to be able to rally up people and go against the entire system, And I don't know if I could say yeah, I don't know if I could say yes, so it really gives a little bit more to the fact of, the type of person that Martin Luther King was. Not just him, but, we lost Joe Louis a few months. Well, by the time you hear this, it'd be a month or so that we had lost him. And he was standing right next to Martin Luther King, and just people like that, that are, they paved the way, in terms of fighting injustice, civil rights, not just civil rights, but economic equality, they shifted to. And, it's, come on, where are we at in this fight? Where are we at in this struggle right now?
And that's what I wanted to just hone in and tell people. There have to be sacrifices, because a wise man once said, if you're not building, you're destroying.
Yeah.
And it's just that simple. And you have to know what side you're on. At the end of the day, are you building or you're destroying?
Correct.
So there have to be some kind of sacrifice that we're willing to. All right, like I tell my son, hey, do you want to gain the advantage of all the kids going into grade 4 with you? Do you want to say that you want to be able to be advanced? I could teach you some things during the summer, or are you just going to play video games with them all day?
Mm-hmm.
You have to give some kind of sacrifice.
Yeah.
Same thing with this fight that we're talking about. You have to give some sacrifice. Do we put out and I don't want to just, do we put out a song that doesn't glorify what we want to do right now?
Yeah. It's crazy, man. And we had a chance to take the boys up to Vanderbilt Mansion in Hyde Park, New York, area I grew up in, and nearby the area I grew up in. And, we're walking on, you're talking about sacrifice, talking about legacy, what's in jeopardy here for not making that sacrifice, for making that stance. And, we're on the property. And for many years, I've been on this property, but it was the first time I'm going on this property with this mindset that I have right now. And I'm walking around all this land, all this land I'm walking around. And you go down by the river. Now, this is prime property down by the Hudson River.
Correct.
And you don't just have a little dock right there to get the river. No, you have acres that are touching the river. You have 211 acres of property, right? And I'm like, man, you see the kids walking around. I see my boys walking around. And I'm like, man, imagine if they had this whole 211 acres to explore every day. Imagine the development that they would have, right? So I started looking up, the owner, Vanderbilt, and we were reading about Vanderbilt, and I was like, okay, Vanderbilt, born in 1820s or something like that, gotten with the railroads at the 1850s or something like that. He was like 30-something years old, I don't know the exact timeline, but, he really built his wealth off the railroad systems and connecting the railroads from the east to the west, right? So we're like, yeah, that's how we got this. But I was like, man, something that doesn't seem right. This is the time frame, because they're saying this mansion wasn't built until the 1900s, right? So I was like, man. So we kind of go look up. The mansion and the property that we were on belonged to his son.
There you go. And
you're like, wait a minute. Cornelius Vanderbilt, one of the most wealthiest men. If you go to Amazon, Netflix, I think it's on Netflix still, but if not on Netflix, go to YouTube and type in the men that built America, something like that, right? Who built America? Man that built America. They talk about 4 men with Vanderbilt's one of them. Carnegie's another one.
Probably Rockefellers.
Rockefeller is another one. I can't remember the fourth guy. But, you look at all these guys, and like, wow. And now his son, 211-acre property, upstate New York. I know it wasn't his only property that he had, and it shows that legacy. It shows that, hey, I have something. I sacrifice in certain areas to build up so I can pass down to my kids. And not only am I passing down to my kids now, my legacy lives on so that now people can come and enjoy the labor that I put out there, the sacrifice that I originally put out there. So it's like, what are you building today, man? That's going to last 200 years from now.
Yeah.
That people can walk around and say, wow, this is the impact that they made on the world. That takes sacrifice. But yeah, let's man, we can go on this.
We can go all day,
man. Forgetting that we got a guest. We got a guest to get on the show. Yeah, and you guys are gonna love this today. I'm gonna have Marlon. He's gonna introduce him. And but before he does that, I just want to remind all of our listeners, near and far, from the East Coast to the West Coast, across the pond, wherever you are, tune in to the successjourneyshow.com. You can go see our previous podcast. You can go to any podcast platform and type in the Success Journey Show, where you'll listen to all of our episodes. Also, you get an opportunity to review, comment, like, dislike, whatever it may be. Give us some feedback as to how you're enjoying this show and the guests that we're bringing to you on a weekly basis. But go ahead, Marlon. Why don't you introduce our guest for today?
Okay, so our guest for today, I was very intrigued because the first thing, we both are volunteers for the Chow Wagon. It's kind of like a Meals on Wheels we go through in Virginia, Northern Virginia, and we go and we help feed different families, because even in this COVID, no matter how successful or wherever you are in life, there's a lot of people that we see that need food. So there's one of the guests that's on the show, we both volunteer for that. And he was talking about a farm at first. And I was like, man, a brother with a farm, right? Which is so I was like, okay. And then he started talking about pickleball. And I was like, wow, this is real interesting. I never heard about this sport before. But I'm not even going to take his shine, right? Because I don't play pickleball, so I don't take his shine. I want to introduce you to Gizmo. Hey, Gizmo, go ahead and however you want, just go ahead and run down to these people who you are, a little bit about your lineage, and then we'll get into some questions.
For sure, man. First and foremost, man, I appreciate y'all fellas for having me on the show. I'm honored to be here. And just based on the introductory conversation, man, I was listening behind the scenes, and one thing that I genuinely enjoy is having a good conversation with intellectual people. And I could already get the good vibe from it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love how y'all brothers was rolling. So I'm excited to be on the show.
Glad to have you.
Yeah, man. So appreciate it. My name is Gizmo Pickleball, Jay Hall. I'm out of the Northern Virginia area, but I am a professional pickleball player. I am also currently a full-time farmer. This is literally my first rodeo, though. Me and my wife bought this farm about 1.5 years ago, a 10-acre farm, and it's called Pickleball Farm. And what we do is, we try to affect as many kids' lives in a positive way as we can. When I graduated high school, I graduated with like a 1.3. I had to go to summer school, or I had to go to night school my second semester. Almost got expelled my senior year. I probably shouldn't have ever graduated, but and my senior quote was, "I know I don't know something, but I don't know what I don't know." And for me, that's gone on to affect me in life, where it's just I've gotten myself into just basic situations where I'm just like, yo, I have no clue what's going on, and being an adult male, it's just like, yo, you should probably know how to at least know what's going on. At least, you ain't gotta be no expert, but at least enough to be dangerous, you dig?
Yes.
I was like, man, so, I grew up in a one-parent background. My mom, she raised me, my father, very estranged. He was in my life when I got in trouble. She was like, I'm gonna call your father. Don't let me call your father. And I'm just like, all right, yeah, chill, ma, chill. You know what I'm saying? So, I definitely didn't have him in my life, and I definitely didn't have a positive role model. So, my mom did the best she could, but for lack of better terms, the streets swallowed me whole, and I got what I got. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, whether it was my fault or not, I put in what I put in, and the output was based on exactly what I put in. But I had no positive influence telling me that, yo, this ain't what you should be putting in. You feel me? That ain't the road you need to be going. So,
Right.
kind of went with the crowd. It was what it was. But as I'm older now, I'm married now, I got 2 kids. I've come to the realization that whether or not my father was in my life or not, and I was really, really stuck on this for a long time. I used to be like, oh no, my dad's coming back, or I used to always just search for that white picket fence type experience, even as an adult male. But it's never come. So it took me to have a personal shift to go from that to, okay, now it's like me looking for that is out the window. Now I got to transfer that to me being what I didn't have growing up, being that for my kids and any other kids that I can get around to be an influence for them, because I know what it was like to be one of those kids and not have somebody. So I feel like I can make the world a better place if I can at least affect one.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Man, Rick, I'm never gonna. I'll let you go first, Rick, man, because I'm just loving my wheels are turning. I'm hearing this, brother. Always we find out that, well, of course you're volunteering at the Chow Wagon, so I know servitude is in your DNA right now, right? So that's something good. But Rick, go ahead, man.
Yeah, no, man. Appreciate you sharing that. Appreciate you being on the show, man, and just hearing your spirit, especially in the last comment. Just if you could just reach out to these guys, man, and just let them know that have someone there for them. There are a lot of young men, young girls that need mentorship, needs exposure to the right thing, and when you were back in that place, and that probably could have been the best thing for you. But I know I look back at myself a lot of times, and ask myself the question, was I ready to receive mentorship? Was I ready to? Would I responded in the right way? And how do you look at that when you're looking at a lot of the youth that, man, they just might not be in the right mind frame to receive the guidance, that you're there to be able to provide for them.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, again, that just goes back to speak on it was a direct, I reaped what I sowed, like you said, was I ready to receive the mentorship? Well, I mean, of course, the first quick answer is absolutely not, but I mean, that's just like a Johnny on the spot answer. But if you think about it, yes, I was, because, kids as a whole are sponges, you know what I'm saying? So I received what I was looking for, you know what I'm saying? Because when I saw the guys standing on the street corner, at night, and I'm just like, man, they look like they're having a good time. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, they're driving nice cars. Hey, they got the nice ladies. Hey, they got the nice, they got big bucks. And literally as simple as what I'm getting ready to say is, when the ice cream man come around the hood, they pull up behind the ice cream truck and tell the ice cream man, all right, every kid get whatever they want. I got the bill.
Yes.
Like, bruh. And then he pull up just big 50s, 100s. You know what I'm saying? Just like it ain't nothing. You just as a person growing up, and people are products of their environment, whether it be good, whether it be bad. Yes, it can be broken, but I mean, like those they're really strongholds. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, from that point of view, it's like, why would I not want to be that? They look like they ain't doing too bad. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Can you break down, because our listeners they're I know they have a wonderful imagination, but I'm glad that you're transparent. Tell them some of the things that you're getting into and some of the you know, some of the near misses that you had?
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, I mean, I almost got kicked out of school in middle school. You know, I mean, we're gonna start back at the beginning, but like in sixth grade, I had 26 referrals. Uh, you know, suspended all the time. You know, whatever. Seventh grade, I had 22 before they expelled me out of school. My mom was like, "Yo," like the county, Prince William County was like, "Yo, you can't attend no public schools for a whole year."
Wow.
And my mom was just a single mother working two jobs, like, you know, going to the pawn shop every week to, you know, get her rings or take her rings in, you know, gas bill cut off, electric cut off, like, you know, like our gas was cut off so long. Like, first of all, like I used to be shocked when there wasn't a yellow notice on my door talking about they getting cut something off.
Mm.
So so that was the norm, if you will. And it was like our gas was cut. I mean, I'm talking about like taking pots of water and like, you know, heating them up in the microwave because the gas cut off, taking bird baths and all that. You know what I'm saying? And like, again, it wasn't no fault of my mother. She was making the best out of what she had, you know. And again, not having that positive role model, it was just like, yo, we gonna be all right. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah, yeah.
Like so, you know, like when your gas get cut off, like you got a deposit. You got to pay the deposit, you got to pay the back balance, all that stuff. Like our gas was cut off for so long that when we finally got the money, I don't know if the church gave us the money or like one of her friends, like whatever it was. When she signed back up, they was like, yeah, there's no past balance, there's no deposit, there's no nothing. Like, you know, this is new service in our eyes. Like, you know, uh, like so that just tell you how long it was cut off. You know,
Wow.
so so like there's that. So my mom didn't know what to do, so she was like, yo, you gonna go spend the summer with your father. You know what I'm saying? Again, I only like talked to him when I was in trouble. Like, I mean, I probably seen him like maybe we'll say 10 times in my life, whatever. At this point, you know, we talking seventh grade, you know, summer, eighth summer. So I'm like, all right, cool. She like, yeah, I'm gonna get you a one-way ticket out to Cali, and you know, I'm gonna get you a one-way ticket back, you know, when school start. And I'm young. I mean, I don't know nothing about this. This was like AOL days when you still had the
Yeah,
dial-up. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. So, you know, I'm out there chilling, whatever, ha ha ha. You know, it's like a week before school started. And I think I messaged on AOL and was just like, yo, I didn't get no confirmation for the flight back. Like, what's going on? And she's just like, yo, you staying with your father. And she's just like, I can't do nothing with you. Like, and I'm just like, yo, I don't even know this dude.
Mm.
Like for real, you tell your kids to stay away from strangers. Like, I don't even know this dude, you
Mm.
know, and like he remarried and like she got a kid and like, you know, it was I mean, it was very awkward and like for real, like that kind of messed me up for like just having like trust issues, you know what I'm saying, that spill over into like
Yeah.
day-to-day life and like, you know, stuff like that people don't talk about, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, you know, it's a whole nother ball game. But like I'm very adamant about people, you know, speaking up about, you know, mental health issues because I feel like it's a real thing and it's a real
Yes.
thing that people try to just brush under the rug. And it's like look at Robin Williams, like he had everything any human being could ever want, and my
Correct.
man had nothing at all and ended up killing himself.
Mm.
So but yeah, so you know, I'm out there, you know, dog, put it like this, I got whoopings until I was 16 years old. Like my dad was like, yo, you have to get signatures in your agenda from every teacher for every single day, and if you don't get an excellent from every teacher, when I get home, like as a 16-year-old boy, yo, go get my belt, walk in the living room, bend over on that couch, and I'm gonna whoop you.
Mm.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
Like, bruh, I'm almost a grown man.
Yeah.
You know, so for me, that always had me looking like I don't think that was the right answer. I don't know that I have the answer, but I know that there has to be a different way. You
Yeah.
know, so
Yeah.
again, stuff like that still just spills over into regular day-to-day life. So, you know, fast forward to, you know, being an adult, I'm just like, you know, I got to do better. I got to do better. So I start, you know, I joined the fire department, you know, and I start volunteering, and I ended up volunteering for like 10 years. And I'm just like, you know, I just always have that servant attitude. Like, yo, like Well, I'll take that back. But in '06, I ended up getting shot 4 times. You know what I'm saying? So again, running behind the wrong people, you tell yourself you want to win, but if you stop and really have the ability to self-assess and you look at, again, they say it's the 5 people that you have closest to
Around
you,
it, yep.
that you
Average
are
5.
them.
Average
Yes.
5, yep.
Nothing against nobody. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, if I could have stopped before then and looked around, I'd have been like, yo, like, yes, this is where I came up, but no, this ain't where I want to be in 20 years, 30 years. This ain't what I want my legacy to be. Again, nothing against those people. You know what I'm saying? It's not for me to judge them whether or not they're good people, but like, I know personally what I want for my life. And now that I have kids and that I've taken on a lot of responsibility of just, I put all the kids that ain't have nobody positive, no, I want them on my back. Like, I want them to know we heading to the goal line. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, you can win. Yes, you will win. Yes, you must win. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't have nobody in their corner telling them that they can win on a daily basis. They got people telling them, yo, you just a mess up. Like, you ain't, you just like your father. You just like your mother. You ain't gonna never be nothing. You ain't gonna. Yo, that's not the truth, And as a young kid, again, kids are sponges. Like, think about how much that wreaks havoc on their souls, trying to grow up in this messed up world that we're all forced to live in. Truthfully.
Correct.
So I got shot 4 times. I had 9 surgeries in 3 months. I ended up having my right ring finger amputated. I had my femur shattered in my right leg. I've got a titanium rod from my hip to below my knee. I've got metal in my fingers. Like, I can't even make a fist with my right hand. Again, you're talking physical therapy, like, literally, it's like you playing a video game. When you get shot, it's like when it's like you press pause when you're playing a video game. Like, you playing Nintendo 64 or 360, it's like pause. Like, you're on hold, buddy. Like, everybody else is going on about their merry way.
Yeah.
You're on pause. You do nothing. You go sit in the corner. You'll be back when I let you back. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I ain't real spiritual. You know what I'm saying? I don't go to church or nothing like that. But like, I got my relationship with the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, when I got shot, like, I mean, we talking about being transparent. It's like, I stepped outside and a dude that I was beefing with the day before, like, yo, I didn't even think the beef was that for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we got into it, but it, like, in my mind, it was what it was. It was like, all right, we ain't rocking with each other. We going different directions. Cool, bro. Well, I'm standing there talking, and like, he come outside and he just like, yo, clear the block. And then me and the dude that I was chopping it up with was like, yo, is he talking to us? Like, yo, what's he mean, clear the block? And he says it again, and then he just start busting. Like, I mean, it was a Sunday morning. It was like 9:30 in the morning. I mean, bro, we ain't talking about like DC, Maryland. We talking about Dale City, like Woodbridge, Virginia, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
wow.
And like, it was so surreal, bro. But like, I started running, and I felt like I was like Michael Johnson out there with the gold shoes, you know what I'm saying? And Barry Sanders. Like, I mean, I thought I was moving and shaking, bro. But long story short, man, I ended up getting hit 4 times, and right hand of God, dog. Like, I fell into some bushes, and like, as I rolled over, like, the whole sky was white. Dude came over me and stood over me and put the pistol in my face. I don't know what he was saying, but he went to pull the trigger, and either he was out of shots or the gun jammed. I don't know what happened. Next thing I know, he ran off.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, my homies ended up, like, they didn't wait for the ambulance. Like, my boys took the keys out of my pocket. Like, they pulled my truck up. Like, they drove me to the hospital. As they drive me to the hospital, like, I'm calling my mom. She is in church. Mind you, it's a Sunday morning. It's like 9:30. Dog. She go to the early. She go to the early service and stay for all 3 services, dog. You know what I'm saying?
She probably praying for you. That's what happened.
Right. So like, I literally leave her a voicemail like, yo, Ma, I just got shot. Meet me at the hospital. And it's like, I couldn't say nothing else. I mean, I'm like leaking, dog. So we pull up to the hospital. They lock the hospital down. They get me in there, get me stabilized. They end up flying me to the trauma center. You know what I'm saying? Where I had surgery on my leg the next day. So, like I said, between that and then I'm there for a week. I get transferred up to Baltimore to a hand specialist where they do all the surgeries on my hand and, you know, the amputation and all that stuff. So, I mean, it was a long road, but I got myself together, you know what I'm saying, got back in the community, and that's when I was like, yo, let me jump in and start volunteering and servicing, because, like, again, I'm like, yo, I like helping people. That's kind of always kind of been my thing, but I ain't never really had no direction.
Man.
So I was like, yo, and I mean, yo, do we need to pause? Like, I know I've been saying a lot, man.
No.
Y'all brothers want to jump in?
I'm very visual in terms of when somebody's speaking. I'm like watching a movie. I don't know. That's how I think. I'm seeing the whole thing play out. And I'm seeing it frame by frame.
I'm trying to paint it.
Yeah.
So it's very, so now, man, and you know, a lot of people that think about this, now you got shot, you have to go back to the same community. Do I retaliate? Do I change? And so this is kind of like the pivot point of what's gonna happen next. Do I like I said, do I retaliate? Do I call my boys up? Do my boys fire on this guy? Does this thing happen for the whole summer? Every Sunday we're shooting at each other, meeting in the square yard or whatever. That's what I want to talk about next, is just that pivot that sets you up to be Gizmo, the pickleball player. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what we want to go from here. So after that, we know that you didn't retaliate. Yeah. What was the shift? What was the shift in your life?
I don't know, dog, because I mean, like, once I started joining the volunteer service department, man, like, you know what I'm saying, I was still in the streets. I was still running with the same people, man. So, you know what I'm saying, I wish I could sit here and tell you, like, oh, it was me getting shot, you know, like, yeah, when I got shot, dog, I was, you know what I'm saying, I was getting it out the hospital, you know what I'm saying, like, oh, you know, I was, nothing changed for me at that time, dog. I was still getting it, you know what I'm saying, so. Because that's all I knew. That's all I ever knew. You know what I'm saying? Like I was again at 12, 13, 14, 15, all I seen was, yo, young is getting it. So I'm like, yo, all right, I'm gonna get it. And like when I graduated high school, I always ask, when I go to schools and motivationally speak, I ask people like, yo, who you look up to? Who you look up to? They're like, my father, my mother, my auntie. Yeah, I look up to the dope man. You know what I'm saying? Because like, he was the one who showed me love. Like, he was the one who told me, yo, you're doing a good job. Yo, you know what I'm saying? You out here selling that weed. Like, yo, you rocking off. I see you out here grinding, little youngin'. You know what I'm saying? Doing your thing. Like, nobody else was telling me, yo, good job. You know what I'm saying? You're doing good. Nobody else, everybody was telling me, yo, you ain't gonna be nothing, you know what I'm saying? So for me, it was like he took me under his wing, and it's like when people graduate, you know, they go off to senior trip, they go touring, they do this, they go to college. Yeah, like when I graduated, I went out to Cali to see my dad for a week, and the dope man was like, yo, I seen you out here getting it. Like when you get back, I'm gonna show you how to make some real money. I'm gonna show you what time it is. Like I seen you getting it on the low level. Let me show you what real money look like. For me, it's like, yo. So the guy that I'm looking up to, that I've been looking up to for like 4 or 5 years, who essentially I'm aspiring to be, is calling my number to get in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's your chance.
Okay, why not?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The CEO is taking
coming off the
wing.
bench, like, absolutely. So it's like, all right, bet. You know, so I ended up moving in with him, and I mean, it was lovely. It was what I was. Again, you say, you know, was I ready for the mentoring? Yeah, I was, and I got the mentoring that I was looking for.
Yeah.
Correct.
So I mean, it was like, you know, he showed me the game. It was like, yo, you know, on nights he was busy with his girl. He threw me his phone. He like, yo, don't bring me my phone back until it stopped ringing. Period. You keep the money. Like, yo, you see me getting it. This is how we, you know, whip up recipes. You know what I mean? Like, this is how we pay bills. This is how we A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay, like literally, like, hey, so both of y'all, who taught y'all how to cook spaghetti?
I would say my grandmother.
My dad. Yep.
Yeah, the dope man showed me how to cook spaghetti.
Wow.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
And
real
that's a
talk.
big influence.
Like, I'm
That's real.
That's equivalent to his dad, my grandmother.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you know, again, I moved in with him. And it was to the point where I learned later that the reason I moved in with him because the dude who was living with him ended up getting locked up for selling coke.
Mm.
But as an 18-year-old male, it's like, yo, I don't care nothing about that. Like,
That's it. That's on it. Yeah.
Yo, 34-year-old means you dummy. You're running up behind somebody who they just locked up, who they know about. You don't think they watching the house. You don't think that they sitting there watching who live. You're a dummy. Again, hindsight 2020. I move in with them, you know what I'm saying, for like 6 months. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing my thing. I move out. No joke. 2 weeks after I move out, they kick the door in.
Wow.
Like again, you talking about, you know, I was getting in what I put out. I still, that wasn't even the tipping point. I'm still out there getting it. Yo, they ain't kick. I'm not living there no more. They ain't kick my door in. What's up?
Mm.
Yeah,
Dummy. You dummy.
Yeah.
Long story short, I ended up when I'm 20 years old catching in Stafford County a possession with intent to distribute charge. 20 years old. Never been in trouble in my life. Never no juvenile record, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? My mom put me in the Scared Straight program, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? But like I ain't never got no trouble. So I got a court-appointed lawyer. I don't care what going on. If there's anybody, I mean, and I'm talking to anybody in any community, if there's somebody you know who's catching a charge, please put some money together for a lawyer. Nobody needs to go to court with a court-appointed lawyer. Period. Let me tell you case in point. So again, no record. My lawyer's like, yo, you'll do no jail time. You'll get the first offenders, plea bargain, blah, 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 blah. In the state of Virginia, 0 grams to 14 grams is the same misdemeanor. 14 grams to 5 pounds is the same felony charge. I had like 14.2 grams and they weighed the bag with it. You know what I mean? Again, was I in the wrong? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Per the law, it's illegal. I get it. You know what I'm saying? My lawyer's like, yeah, no jail time. Driving up to the courthouse, my mom's like, hey, do you want to stop at McDonald's and grab something to breakfast? I'm just like, nah, we'll grab some breakfast on the way out. I show up to court. My lawyer's like, yo, so because of the amount, they don't want to, basically, you're going to do 20 days in jail. And I'm just like, what? Yeah. Wait, what? Wait, what? Dog, I didn't see McDonald's for 20 days.
You should have took that breakfast, you're saying.
Man.
But it's just like, yo, like for real, like, I mean, and if you think about it, like that's going down the whole systemic racism aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? Because you can look at similar cases with not similar outcomes. But again, lesson learned. You know what I'm saying? So for the longest, you know, I'm not no heathen. I'm not breaking in no houses. I'm not doing that. I just, you know what I'm saying? I'm kind of just wandering, if you will, through life at this point. Man, remember, I've been shot. Like, I'm just kind of just trying to figure out what's going on, get some traction in some way. So I'm like, you know, running behind some girl. I'm like, yo, you doing the volunteer fire department? I'm going to do the volunteer fire department. So I'm like, yo, because I get to spend more time with you. So I start doing the I mean, real talk. We being transparent, like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, you know, I start doing the classes and all that, and then like 2 weeks later, she like drops out, and I'm just like, damn, well, I kind of like this joint. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm gonna stick with it a little bit. So, you know, long story short, I ended up volunteering for 10 years. You know, and every volunteer. Like, I mean, every volunteer person who works at the fire department, their goal is to be picked up by a career fire department, because no matter, you know, you say it's the same job, career volunteer, like there is a big, you know, tension between the career side and the volunteer side, even though they do the same job. And, you know, in Prince William County, you know, there was a big tiff amongst the volunteers. And I mean, to this day, I've been on both sides. you know, and that is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Put it like this: as long as there's somebody when that bell ring to come cover my house, I don't care if you're getting a paycheck or you're volunteering. As long as somebody's there, period.
Yeah.
However, y'all got to work that out on the back end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know, I was applying to different departments. I mean, I even went as far as pulling up every county in the state of Virginia. Once I got my firefighter certifications, and I even put myself through paramedic school because I knew that with that weed charge from 10 years ago was going to be harder than the average Joe to get picked up. So, you know, most people will get their EMT and volunteer and then have the county that they're working for pay for their paramedic school. So I'm like, yo, like if I go in with like a leg up, right, I should be all right. So, you know, and again, my background check and all that's good enough to be a volunteer fireman, but it wasn't that easy. I mean, I've had start dates from fire departments, like 4 or 5 interviews in, and they're just like, oh, well, you know, based on your record, which I told them about and was very transparent about. And again, it was 7, 8 years ago. Like, again, working in the ER, volunteering for 10 years, going to paramedic school. Like, you know, sir, we're gonna have to take your start date back. You know, you can't work here. And it's just like, yo, I already put my 2 weeks in at the hospital. I'm like, yo, and they're just like, no, we can't do it. You know, to eventually getting hired by 2 different departments where I'm the 3rd African-American male with both departments since the 1950s.
Wow.
Yeah, like, no joke. I mean, I'm sure it's public record. You look it up. City of Manassas in Virginia and the city of Manassas Park. I was the 3rd African-American to work for their fire department since the 1950s.
Wow.
So, you know, that in itself, you know, created its own challenges. But again, transitioning to how I became, Gizmo Pickleball, I was, you know, when I was working for Manassas Park, I was, you know, they go to the gym to work out. I don't like lifting weights. So I'm in the gym shooting around and I hear this sound and it sounds like ping pong to me for real. And I'm just like, what in the world? So I go peek around the corner in the gym and it's like 3 nets set up and there's like a bleacher full of older folks. And I'm just like, what in the world? It looked like mini tennis. I'm just like, what's going on here? And this lady who I know her because her and her friend always used to support the fire department buying our T-shirts that we used to make every year. So she's like, this is pickleball. Let me show you how it works. And I'm just like, no, I'm good. Thank you. I appreciate it. You know, I'll just watch. So I was watching and I'm just like, man, that don't look too hard. I might could get out there and hit him with the, you know what I mean? So I'm off work for 2 days and then I go back to work and I'm in the gym. I swear I'm in the gym shooting around again. And I hear the same sound again. And I go to that same corner and I peek around the exact same way. And I see those exact same 3 nets. And the lady sees me and she comes up to me and she grabs me by my hand. She's like, all right, you don't get to look twice without trying it once. And literally grabs me by my hand, puts a paddle in my hand and says, this is pickleball. Let me show you how it works.
Yeah.
And, and like, no joke, it was love at first sight. Like, I can't describe it in no other way, shape, or form. Like, I'm playing, I'm taking the engine up there, I'm taking the ambulance up there when I'm working to the rec center in our first 2 area to play pickleball with the older folks at like 9 in the morning on a Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? But again, it's just good interaction, you know, good PR interaction with the community. And I got to thinking like, man, like I can touch a lot of people's lives on the back of a paramedic unit or, you know, working 24-hour shifts, 48-hour shifts or the back of an engine. But I was truth be told, I was absolutely miserable. It got to the point where I was almost having like mini seizures, like right before I would doze off, like I would start shaking real bad. And like, it got to the point where my wife was just like, yo, you need to go see somebody. And, you know, and it's crazy because like, I was like, man, I told the lady who introduced me to pickleball, I said, you know, I think I could be like a national champion at pickleball. And she's just like, I swear, the one thing she said, I think so too. No matter what you do, stay true to who you are. I swear. I remember sitting in the gym. Like it was, everybody else had left and we just sitting there and like old white lady, like, she's just like, yo, I believe in you. but no matter what you do, stay true to yourself. So it got to the point where like I'm going to tournaments. I'm going, driving 10 hours to Atlanta, playing in tournaments, putting my time off, doing shift trades at the fire department, trying to get time off to go to these tournaments. And like, I mean, I'm working 48, 72-hour shifts. Like, I mean, it was unbearable. So it got to the point where they gave me the time off to go where I was on a certain shift. I was on, they will say C shift. I was on that shift. So I based my tournament schedule around that. And I based that to be in Texas for the Texas Open 2 years ago to play in men's doubles, mixed doubles, and men's singles. This was like my coming out first pro event. And I was just like, at the last minute, they changed my shift to B shift. And they were like, yep, we're not helping you with shift trades. Like, you got to be here. And it's just like, at this point, I'm already $1,500 in. I got partner secured. I got hotels. I got flights. I got rental cars. And it's just like, ooh. But at this point, it's literally having to look at the man in the mirror and say, yo, so like, you think you nice? Like, yo, how nice are you? You know what I'm saying? Like, you think you're nice enough to go out there and bang with the best in the biz, or do you need to shut up and go back to your 9 to 5? And it's to the point, like, the stuff that I was being compromised on at work, I felt like we're compromising my values. And I mean, I lost many, many hours of sleep. But for me, the tipping point, who wasn't even my wife at the time, my fiance, I told her, I said, yo, if I go to the Texas Open, when I come back, I will not have a job. She looked at me and said, without hesitation, I'll see you when you get back.
Wow.
That's it right there.
That's it.
Don't need no more than that. Wow.
You better keep that one.
Bruh, I'm going to tell you like this. She ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, literally ever since then, I've been absolutely grinding, like, putting in that work, traveling, going to tournaments. I ended up getting picked up by Gamma Sports, a company out of Pittsburgh. I was signed by them for the first year. It was what it was. We left on a mutual separation. No hard feelings there. Then I worked for another company. Yeah, we'll just kind of push right past that one. You know what I'm saying? No, it's all good. But honestly, the thing about me is transparency, and like anybody who knows me knows that I don't do anything for sponsorship dollars or the lack thereof. So if I'm not somewhere any longer, know that there's a reason. And know that I am not wrong in my reasoning. Point blank, period. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm going to say on account of my lawyer. Yeah. But no.
Hey, and not the
point. But honestly, though, no. I pay a little bit of ducats this time, this go around. I promise you that. Hey, real talk, dog. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, the one thing that I truly stand out for, when I left the job at the fire department, my thing was, yo, you're not leaving because you don't want to work for anybody else. You're leaving because you are not willing to be bought to compromise your values. You're not willing to say things are non-negotiable and then allow your thought process to be wavered to, well, maybe that's kind of, by money, by anything, by nothing.
Yeah.
For me, that compromises integrity.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, so now you're on this journey, man, with pickleball, and I'm quite sure. I'm quite sure. With COVID, things took a little shift for you over the last few months. But just talking about the whole pickleball in general, I'm assuming right here, but I don't think I'm wrong. There aren't too many people that look like you out there playing pickleball. And I'm not talking about the clothes you're wearing. I'm talking about the color you're wearing as well. It's
Absolutely.
it's different. Lack of diversity.
Absolutely.
So stepping into that space, were there any challenges that you came across just originally walking in there, or were you the Tiger Woods where everyone loved you, or had the love-hate relationship?
As long as I ain't getting my back windshield bust out, I think I'm all right. Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's the one thing about the sport of pickleball. From the outsider standpoint, again, I never played a racket sport, never played tennis or anything like that. It's like pickleball has been, for the vast majority, it has been extremely welcoming. I mean, again, not trying to be the bull in the china shop, but yeah, you're right. I'm an African American male. I'm an African American male with dreadlocks. I'm an African American male that's loud. I'm an African American male that wears cheeseburger tights, leggings, jersey, mismatched socks, mismatched shoes, wild glasses, a bucket hat. Like, trust me. You ask anybody who knows anything about pickleball, they say that they know Gizmos at a tournament while they're walking through the parking lot because they're hearing me screaming, "Let's go," while I'm playing on the court. I mean, but for me, that's that enthusiasm is all of my years of pain that I'm exuding out and just channeling onto that court. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, some people may just be like, "Yo, this is a loud black man. Tell that dude shut up." But for me, it's just like, "Yo, trust me. Y'all, this is how y'all want me to let out my anger. Trust me on that one." You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. So, and I know
but people don't talk about that.
Yeah. And I know you have the farm and you're building the pickle court. Is it how are you going to use that to actually serve the youth and everything like that? And also talk about the farm. What's your plan for the farm?
Yeah, so the pickleball thing is kind of evolved to like, me and my wife, I told my wife, I said, look, I'm tired of paying somebody else's mortgage. I've never lived in the country. When our lease is up at our last place, I want to move to the country. Like, let's move to the country. So I told her I was looking for 5 acres. She found this place. Our real estate agent found the place. I found it, all separately, and we showed each other at the same time.
Oh.
And it's a 10-acre farm in Northern Virginia. And, we had a house scheduled to look at after it. And I said, look, cancel that other one. This is the one. So we ended up getting it. I mean, it's got a big pond, and no joke, God was like, yo, that's not your house. Use that house to serve my people, and I will show you your house. And again, I ain't real spiritual, nothing like that. Again, I got my relationship with God, and, so again, I've kind of just taken to the, I revert back to the very beginning of, like, when I graduated high school, I'm like, yo, I know there's stuff that I just absolutely do not know. It is embarrassing that I don't know it. So what I want to do is, like, we got chickens, turkeys, ducks, goats, a mini donkey, pigs. We've got a wide range of animals that, again, the word that I like to use is exposure. And I want to expose, I don't care if you're white, black, blue, green, yellow, fat, tall, green, like, literally, I don't care. If you are looking to expose yourself or your kids, come out to Pickleball Farm, and what I've kind of tried to do is create like a youth oasis. I want to start working with, like, probation officers. I want to start working with, guidance counselors. I want to start working with parents, disadvantaged teens. Again, I don't care what color you are, but like, my vision is, you drive up to Pickleball Farm, again, you drive up the driveway, there's probably going to be, turkeys hanging out in our front yard, they just be chilling. So you'll feed the animals, it will show you the barn, you'll feed the goats, feed the pigs. The kids can get their hands dirty farming. We can talk about different plants and why we plant them, and, again, just talk about different stuff. Like, I want to actually give kids, it'll be so cool to give them, like, a cup with, like, a little lettuce that they can sit in the windowsill or something like that. And, over 3 weeks time, if they just water it, you know what I'm saying, just to grow. For me, I think farming teaches a lot of things, especially patience.
Yeah.
But, I want it to be real interactive. And again, we just got our first pickleball court laid. We've got the asphalt laid. We're letting it cure. We're finishing up that process. So after you finish the pigs and the farming, you can play some pickleball. And then I want to teach people how to fish. You know what I'm saying? Go down to the pond and fish, and you just hang out. It's like an overall experience. And then we'll do motivational speaking. And dude, I mean, it's crazy.
I love it,
Hey,
man.
we're gonna have to go check it out, Rick.
Live, yes, live, man.
Live. We're gonna have to check it out live. I know my kids will enjoy. I know your kids, Rick, will
Yeah.
enjoy it, and we definitely want to. I'm just happy that I got a chance to meet you because we need people like you in society that's willing to say, okay, I came from this environment, this happened to me, and now that I'm at a better place, I'm not just only going forward. I'm gonna reach back and pull somebody with me also. And I want to show people the diverse of because you know they have just a thinking that hey, black people the monolith. We're just like this, but we want to show them that we're a wide gamut of people that have different goals or the same goal, but we'll reach it many different ways. And I like the way you're reaching it in terms of using the farm, using the sport that I'm 43 and I never heard of pickleball till I met you. You know, so I'm very intrigued to see this journey and this evolution and see the man with the hamburger on the tights.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
you know,
Yeah.
you know
Nah,
what? Go ahead, Gizmo.
No, I was just gonna say, you know, that's exposure, man. You know, again, I'm a grown man. I've been through hell and back, man, multiple times. You know what I'm saying? And again, we just barely just graze past kind of, you know, a lot of what's going on. But again, it's like I'm gonna be all right. I'll eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and ramen noodles till the day I die. And you know what? I'm gonna be all right. You know, I may
Yeah.
not be like driving a Bentley, but like I'm gonna be all right. But my thing is every kid that I can keep from living that life, like I'm gonna really be all right. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
every kid that, again, I had a motivational speaker come to my school when I was in elementary school who ain't look like me, he ain't dressed like me, he ain't talk my language. As soon as he came in, I shut off. I'm just like, yo, you're not from where I'm from, dog. You can't tell me how to be. You can't tell me nothing. You know,
Yeah,
like when I walk in schools now, kids would be like, yo, this dude got pink tights on, dog. Like, yo, like again, I got their attention. It's that connection. And it's just like, yo,
yeah,
like I ain't just sitting here telling you like, yo, don't do this, don't do that. It's like, yo, no, I'm showing you like, yo, I've been through this, I've been through that. Don't do that. And again, it's like, yes, I made it out of that, but I don't want to just keep going because at the end of the day, that's not doing anything to solve the overall issue.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So again, now I got the farm. You know, I'm getting ready to turn one whole acre into a farm garden farm, market garden, whatever.
yeah,
It basically, you know, the foundation, Marlon, you're talking about, the Prince William County Community Fund, the Meals on Wheels, chow wagon rather. You know, I've had a deep conversation with Dr. Gaddis, and she tells me that she goes and buys her produce boxes from you know, certain places at a discounted rate and stuff like that to again turn around and give out to the families in need. And it's not like you don't need to fill out an application. It's just literally, like you said, if you feel your family's in need or can use this assistance of food, you know, drive up, no questions asked, and you know, pop the trunk and we'll give it to you.
yeah,
Like I love that model so much, and I know that she works so hard that
yeah.
I want to grow. Like I've challenged myself to grow the vegetables and the fruits to a certain degree that she goes and purchases on my farm so that she can use the funds that she uses to purchase that what she does now for other resources. Because
So
again, it's
donate
not
more to her.
about me.
Wow.
It's not about me. Like yeah, me and my family, we straight. You know what I'm saying? We got 10 acres. We got 4 houses on our road. Like we good. But it ain't about us. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about us. So like literally I got stuff about back. Like I'm getting ready to put in like 50-foot beds, probably about 30 to 40 of them with different crops that I'm going to continually grow. Like I've put in a grant for a high tunnel to where I can grow year round food to
Mm.
Yeah.
donate to this cause. You know what I'm saying?
Man, listen. As you're saying this and I'm listening to your story, you know, I'm kind of hesitant in saying this, but I'm going to say it anyways for the sake of our listeners and travelers out there. Um, we took the time for Gizmo to share his story, where he came from, and it reminded me of another man that I know that was on a journey, and in his journey, you know, he was very he was a leader, leading a revolt against a group of people, And, he was the head guy, and leading this thing, biggest spokesperson. Anyone that came against them, boom, wiping them out. But then one day, in on his journey, his whole mindset shifted. And it shifted in a way because his eyes were open as to where he should be going. And he made that pivot, that 180-degree pivot in the other direction. And now the lives that he impacted because of that shift and because his eyes have been open was greater than anyone else in this world that has spread this message, right? And, one thing people say, what happened with this gentleman? And really, nothing about his character really changed. Nothing about who that person was, the skill sets that he had. It was just his perspective on life. And I'm hearing Gizmo here and what he was exposed to when he was younger and the game that he was running in and, how he was interacting and growing and things of that nature in that area. He made a pivot, and that pivot it doesn't happen in just one moment. It probably wasn't tied to one event, but it was a pivot that was made. And now, instead of distributing for a group of people, now he's building on his farm to distribute to people that are homeless, people that need food, kids, and pouring into kids that need that direction, that mentorship. And it's like, guys, what I love about this is to show that, you say a lot of these kids that are troubled, that don't have the guidance, and which is true, they don't. But when you really get them to open their eyes to see who they really are and what they can be to the world, this is an example of the impact they can make in a society that's around them, man. And so I'm just saying to you, Gizmo, man, I am so excited just to hear, the journey that you've been on and the journey that you're now on. And just knowing that, you have it in you already to just be great, at whatever you touch, and whatever we can do on our end, man, to really help push you along in that direction, man, I'm all for it, bro.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Like I said, I recently just signed with a new company, new pickleball paddle company, Players Pickleball. They're out of Seattle, or the Washington area rather, and Washington State, and we just came out with a signature Gizmo pickleball cheeseburger paddle. You saw the paddle.
Yes.
I brought it when.
Yes.
Yeah. So they're doing real good things. It's a much better situation than my last situation, and the one thing that I always tell people: don't do stuff for money. Do stuff for a reason. Like, what's your why? Your why can't be money. It's got to be for a reason. And we've aligned values, and for every pickleball paddle that sells, they donate money for me to help get pickleball paddles and equipment in the schools, in the kids' hands and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like they're just using my likeness and stuff like that just to sell paddles, but they're actually putting their money where their mouth is and giving back to the community. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure.
Yeah. Hey, we're gonna this show right here. We don't want to give them too much because there's part two, and the part two will be on that farm. All right. I don't want to give them too much. That part two will be on that farm because I'm telling you, and I want to put it right here first on the Success Journey Show. One of these fast food places gotta pick you up, bro.
Yo, I'm telling you, man, I'm looking for a deal, man. Speaking into existence. That's right, bro. That's right. Let's go.
They gotta pick you up. You have a cheeseburger on your thighs, cheeseburger on your paddle, right? And
everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. It's only right. So if anybody out here is listening, I don't know how far we'll reach if we'll reach to them, but I'm telling you, you better contact us or check our website, thesuccessjourneyshow.com, and you'll see his information and hit up Gizmo, man.
Absolutely.
I'm telling you.
He's
not going to use the money for the wrong reason.
Absolutely.
No.
Hey, Gizmo, man, as we're wrapping up, why don't you share where everyone can just learn a little bit more about you, your website, or other platform that they can just follow you on?
Yeah, for sure, man. Literally, if you probably tie a picture of a cheeseburger to a carrier pigeon and let it go. It'll probably some way miraculously get to me, real live. But no, I mean, literally, if you type in Gizmo Pickleball on any search engine, it'll link to me. GizmoPickleball.com, Gizmo Pickleball on Facebook, Gizmo_Pickleball on Instagram. We've also got Pickleball Farm, with the same monikers, and Pickleball Farm recently did just get accepted as a nonprofit.
Love
So
it.
we did just get
Nice.
that status as well. So,
Nice.
we're that goes to show that we ain't about us. We're just trying to give back to the people, man.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes.
Exactly. Nah, love it. Well, travelers, listen, man, we had a great time today with Gizmo and just him sharing his story. And there are plenty more stories, just like Gizmo that are out there that Marlon and I have been capturing over these last few weeks, last few months. And we want to share them with you. And how are we going to share that with you? We want you to go to any podcast platform, type in Success Journey Show. On there, you'll see all the previous shows, all the guests that we've had on here. Oh, man, we've had so many different guests from a variety of different walks in life. So if you find something that you like, take a listen to it and do us a favor. Just share it with a friend, family member, and just spread the good word around. Also, you can go to our website, thesuccessjourneyshow.com, and look up all the things that are coming up, newsletters that will be going out and things of that nature. So, man, listen, we love you guys. Man, we're so happy to be with you guys again for another week. And like I say, every week, we promise you one thing, and that is we'll be back next week at the same time, same place on the Success Journey Show. All right, everyone, have a good one. Peace.
You've been listening to the Success Journey Show, where your dreams, drive, determination, and diligence are the foundation to success. For more information, check out thesuccessjourneyshow.com. The Journey Squad is here helping you to your destination.